So now that we have our EC2 instance up and running, let's install the Photogrid app on our server. To do that, I would need to first transfer all the files from my local hard drive to the EC2 instance. The easiest way that you can do that is by using FileZilla. And this process will work both on a Windows machine as well as on a Mac. So open up FileZilla, and what we'll need to do first is we'll need to go into Edit, click on Settings, click on the SFTP option, and click on Add Key File to select your Photogrid key.ppk file. Now on a Mac, if you try and select the Photogrid key.pem file, FileZilla will prompt you to change that format to a .ppk, and in fact it will do the conversion for you. So since I already have a .ppk file, I'm just going to select that, click on Open, click on OK. Next, let's go into the site manager and let's create a new site, and I'm going to call this Photogrid server. Next, we need the IP address of the server, so let's go back into the AWS management console and copy the elastic IP address from here, and let's put it over here. Change the protocol from FTP to the SSH file transfer protocol, or SFTP, and change the login type from anonymous to interactive, and you might want to change the user to Ubuntu, because that's the username that we have been using to connect to the EC2 instance. Now click on Connect, and you can see that it does work and connects you to the EC2 instance, and you can see a couple of folders listed over here in a folder called Ubuntu within Home. This is where I'm going to create a new directory called Photogrid, and double click into the directory, and we will copy our files here. But before we copy the files, there's just one tiny thing that I need to do. Go back into Sublime and go into the production.json, and we need to replace the host in the production environment from localhost :3000 to the elastic IP that we have assigned to our EC2 instance. Save this file, and now let's go into FileZilla and copy all the files, copy all the folders from our local drive to the EC2 instance within the Photogrid directory that we have just created. Make sure you don't copy the node_modules directory, because this will be created directly on the server. We are going to do an npm install directly on the server so that all the modules are downloaded and installed. So leave out this folder and copy everything else. So select everything and just drag and drop over here. And this will essentially start copying all the files directly to the EC2 instance. So I'm going to pause the recording and I will return back once all the files have been copied. So all the files in the folders are now on the EC2 server. The next thing that we need to do is install all the modules as well as the graphics magic module. So let's connect to the EC2 instance using PuTTY. And the first thing that I will install is the graphics magic library. So to do that, we'll type sudo apt-get install and type graphics MAGICK. Okay, make sure you spell that correctly. Press enter, type Y, press enter. And there you go, graphics magic has been installed on our server. Next, do an ls, and you can see that we have the Photogrid directory over here. If you're unable to see the folder because of the system colors that it uses in PuTTY, what you can do is you can go into change settings and go into colors, and you can just disable these two options. When you do that and click on apply, you'll notice that PuTTY will not use colors on the terminal, and all the folders and everything is a little bit easier to see. We'll go into the Photogrid directory, and you can see the app.js, the config, package.json, and everything else that we had uploaded using FileZilla. Straight away type npm space install and press enter. And there you go. So all said and done, we have installed the Photogrid app directly on the EC2 instance. Just one more thing to do is to set the production environment. So type export node underscore env is equal to production and press enter. And now you can type node space app.js, and the app starts running. It says Photogrid running on port 3000. But if I go in my browser and if I type the elastic IP of the server, if I press enter, you'll see that nothing happens. In fact, if I do try and access port 3000, this also doesn't work. So let's try and solve this problem in the next video.